Awesome. I'm so excited to have our very awesome friend of mine, great guest today, to be able to chat a little bit about her life, her story. And I know you guys will get a lot of value from it. The purpose of our podcast, obviously, is to, help people find their purpose, help people find their why, and help that one starfish out there that might be listening. And maybe this will be the catalyst that'll change your life. So Bianca actually came from Inglewood, from a bank teller, from the bottom. Now she's here. She's in commercial banking. She manages a portfolio of middle market companies, and she's doing some amazing things, an amazing heart, amazing lady. So we're just going to dig into her story. And like I said, I know you're going to get a lot of value from it. So Bianca, tell us a little bit of way back in Inglewood, what it was like, and let's just go from what it was like and what your life is like now.
All right. So from Inglewood, California, I pretty much started as a bank teller when I graduated from high school and have done every position inside the branch. And now outside of the branch, I work for private banking. Oh my God. Okay. Start over. Okay. Thank you so much, Angela, for the introduction. Yes, I am born and raised from Inglewood, California. Grew up in the 90s, all the gangster rap that you hear and all the lyrics. I lived it, but I can also say that I've survived that period of my life. Pretty much have gone through struggles from becoming a teenage mother to just overcoming adversity overall. But I'm excited to be here. I'm now in private banking, commercial banking, and I just look forward to what my life is going to look like in the upcoming years.
That's awesome. Tell us a little bit of where you're at now, because I know you moved recently. You're living in a little bit more of an upscale neighborhood than Inglewood, not that far from the beach. Tell us a little bit of how is life so much different from kind of where it was to where it is even now? And I know the next 5-10 years is going to be even different, but.
Yes. So a few years ago, thank you so much. A few years ago, I joined a group called the amputee Syndicate. And pretty much it was a huge catalyst to kind of push me forward to where I'm at now. So I do come from Inglewood. It is not the best of places. It is nice. Of course, the Rams Stadium is being built there now. And we do have the Great Western Forum. And things are changing there. However, I did want to take my kids out of that environment. There's still some gang activity there and a lot of police involvement. So being a part of the amputee Syndicate really did help me see that I needed to change my physical environment. So I do live now in Playa Vista, which is about a few minutes away from the beach, which is super exciting. And I can honestly say that it's a testament to everything that I have learned in the amputee Syndicate. And and I'm just excited to see where I'm going to end up in a few more years.
That's awesome. I love that. And kind of going down that path then, what are your thoughts on how much our associations dictate kind of where we go in life?
As the years have passed, I do realize that associations are important. You are the 5 people that you mostly hang around with. And so I found myself as I continued to grow personally that I needed to add associations, not technically block, delete, and get rid of, which I see a lot of people doing, which is great. That's their personal, choice, but definitely adding people that are like-minded and that think like you. So I am a hard worker. I am passionate about what I do, and I'm passionate about being a great mother as well. And so just making sure that my associations mimic what I want. So before in the past, I was around a lot of people who would tell me, Bianca, you do too much. Doesn't the bank close at 6? Why are you still working? Why are you trying to go back to school and be a mom and do this? You're fine where you're at. And I realized that the people around me were just, and not intentionally keeping me where I was at, but I needed to find people who would motivate me to do more and would understand what my goal is in life.
Man, that's so powerful. I know it's been a big thing for me, for Catalyst of the associations. You're one of my associations. And that is a huge catalyst, people that push you to be more, and push you to reach the highest version of yourself. So
Yes.
You had a big catalyst in your life that happened that is absolutely exceptional, working through it about 11 years ago. I don't want to take away the story. It's absolutely incredible. So you want to tell a little bit of kind of your story and your journey since then, because Bianca is a really powerful woman, of some of the stuff that she's conquered. So go ahead and tell the kind of the story of what happened about 11 years ago.
Sure. So 11 years ago, I did become an amputee. I was hit by a drunk driver on the freeway and lost my left foot. And then, of course, with that also came a damaged right ankle. It was definitely a life-changing event in a sense where, I no longer had my foot. My feet were, I was injured. I had to learn how to use a wheelchair and I had to learn how to walk again. So along with that came the mental anguish of, how am I going to overcome? How am I going to be a great parent to my kids? At that time, I was a single mom as well. So definitely a dark moment in my life. I did spend a few years trying to figure what was my next step from my injury. And now I'm here by the grace of God with positive intentions. I can honestly say that and I'm very honest about mental health because I think it's important. Everyone goes through certain aspects of that. And I fell into a very deep depression. Not because of what happened to me, but just overall life just became so hard. And I think that even without an amputation, life is hard. So just imagining what my life would look like. But I told myself, like, I'm the one that's in charge. I'm the one that can manage how to move forward from this. And so with a lot of hard work, I was able to overcome, and I'm still overcoming. It's a day-to-day thing, but I'm now an amputee, and I don't. If there was something I would change about it, if I had to go back and go through it again, I would go through it again because it's definitely has showed me or has helped me guide other people when they're going through their struggles. So I'm looking at the positive in a sense that I've been learning from it. And even though it's been with hard times, but what I've learned from it, it's been much a better reward, I would say.
That's awesome. I love that. I mean, I can't imagine losing a leg, and especially as a very beautiful female, not being able, I know you can't wear high heels, like getting some of that stuff taken away from you in an instant, and nothing really that you did wrong, quote unquote. And a lot of the people listening, I'm sure, are going through stuff like that, physical challenges, mental challenges, whatever. And that, you can get through it. So curious, because like you touched on the mental thing, which is a big thing, especially in this last little bit, dealing with COVID, dealing with everything going on around us. What are some things, I know some of the kind of things that you've used to get through that and to get on the mental track, to be able to conquer that and not let that take you into like downhill depression? What are some tactics and strategies that you've used that help you get through those dark days?
Sure. I would honestly say first and foremost, 75 Hard. And if you haven't heard about it, definitely check it out. On social media, there's a lot of information you can get from that by looking at the hashtag 75 Hard. But I pretty much had to work for it. I had to work for my mental health. And so a lot of times people think that it's going to come easy, and it's not. And so what I first started doing is I started walking every single day, regardless if I felt sad, regardless if I felt angry, regardless if I was sick. I started walking every day. And during those walks, I started listening to sermons and I started listening to podcasts. And so kind of similar to what you said, the associations are a huge part of, your personal development. Also, what you put in your ear is important as well. So I started hearing what other like-minded people were thinking and what they were doing and what tactics were beneficial for them. So it started to motivate me to do more. And I started seeing that they were taking action in their lives. They weren't just waiting around to see who was going to come and save them or what was going to transpire, and leaving it up to, just God and life. But of course, we leave everything to God. But I just needed to make sure that whatever was in my ear was positive. And then also reading. I did a lot of personal development reading as well. And then I did get closer to God in a sense that just being able to listen to what he wanted me to do for him.
And that's so powerful. And I know with 75 hard, you're a beast. You do, is it Mai Tai or something like that too?
Yes. So I can honestly say that I'm a little bit more active now as an amputee than before. I am not athletic at all. Now I am a little bit, I can say, give myself a little credit, but I hate anything that exercise. I mean, I am just not that girl. But after my accident, I remember seeing a few people train in martial arts, and I told myself, wow, I want to do that. And then I told myself, well, why can't I? And I was limiting myself because of my accident. I told myself, there's no way you can do it. And so I finally pushed myself and started training in Muay Thai. And then from there, I started training in Krav Maga, which is Israeli self-defense, because I told myself, well, what's going to happen if someone does come behind me and attack me and I'm disabled? So I wanted to feel secure. And then I started doing a little bit of jiu-jitsu because I wanted to learn how to fight on the ground. So I'm not an expert yet. My goal is to become a ninja. And if my coach were to hear me say that, he would laugh. But yeah, but I mean, I'm excited. I'm happy about it. And it's definitely helped me gain confidence, especially in my situation.
Man, that's so powerful. I just love that because like so many times we use our limits to become our limitations as opposed to using our quote limits to actually become stronger. Like that you weren't like that before, but you've actually become a better version of yourself, a stronger version of yourself physically since losing, part of your foot, which is crazy when I think about it. Like doing a Mai Tai and is just amazing. Kind of taking the excuses away. And it has for me, it's encouraged me a lot, to take the excuses away. And I'm sure a lot of people will listen. And it is like, man, if you can do it without a leg, you can probably, like a foot kind of thing, you probably do it, when you're whole. And that's just a powerful thought. What are some things, what are some things that help you feel good? I mean, I know the working out, the Bible, the like reading God, that kind of stuff. What are some other things that you've done that, you just do on a day that's kind of like a reward? You worked hard. Tell us a little bit about like a relaxing day for you.
Oh my gosh. So I'm such a boring person. I always tell that to everyone. But actually a relaxing day would be no cleaning, because I love to clean, like Emily, right? Like to clean up like after my day, but no cleaning, no chores, just no plans. I'm such a fan of the Marvel series right now, so I've been binging on that. I mean, not in a sense where I spend my entire day doing it, but I have been watching Marvel right now, specifically Hawkeye, and I actually saw an amputee last night on there. So I'm
cool.
Stoked and excited now more than ever. But yeah, pretty much just letting my brain kind of reset, because I'm always on the move. I'm always either working or with my kids, or, training. And so, or listening to a podcast or listening to a sermon. So I do give myself some time to rest and relax.
That's awesome. I love that. That's cool. Hawkeye. I didn't even know about that about you. So this is neat. What are some things, like, I mean, there's days, everyone has days where they don't want to get out of bed. Everyone has days where they're not motivated. And I'm sure, like I said, you went through, I would say more than a lot, kind of going through that. And you still, like you said, still something you're working on. What gets you out of bed on the days that you don't want to get out of bed?
Well, 75 hard has definitely helped on those days. There have been times where, I'm like a little kid throwing a tantrum, just, I can't fail, so I got to get up. There has been a moment recently where I didn't feel okay, and I allow myself those days, but they're no longer weeks or months of depression. It's just days. So if I truly need that one day where I can't get out of the bed, then I give myself that day to rest and recover. Again, it's not for over a length of time. And then I have to identify if it's happening more often than usual. But if there is that just one day, then I take it. Now, if the next day I still feel the same, then, unfortunately, I have to get back to business. So what can I do throughout that day to help me out? Is it taking a small nap to help me throughout my day? Is it, I'm working remotely some days. So is it not necessarily being at my desk, but maybe being on the couch where I feel much more comfortable? So as much as we want to just relax and do nothing, at the end of the day, we're not going to get to our goals if, we succumb to that feeling. So
that's so good. And so, so big takeaway, like, and I was told the same thing through my journey is, you can have those days and you can have those moments, but don't let them go 2 days in a row. I think that's kind of what you said, like, you have a day, but don't let it go 2 days in a row, because then you start a habit. So, and I love that, because I think it is really powerful that you can give yourself that grace that, okay, today I can't get out of bed. Today, I just, I need a day. I need to watch Hawkeye. I need to watch Marvel. I need to do whatever, watch romance, whatever people do. But like something to take your mind and to chill. But then the next day you need to make yourself kind of get up and do the work. So, I think that's super powerful, Bianca. I love that. What do you successful people, success leaves clues. Successful people have things. You talked about your goals. Do you like read your goals out loud, or do you have them posted somewhere, or how do you focus on kind of where you're going in life?
You know what? I'm actually, as the year ends, because right now it's December 12th, 2021. I am actually planning to write down my goals. I do sort of a brain dump, like what Emily has talked about in previous podcasts, and just write down like what's on my mind, and then also write down what my goals are. So as of now, I am in the process of planning for 2022 and just kind of evaluating where I would say feeling stuck, and then how can I get out of that? So for example, right now, yes, I'm in commercial banking, and I love what I do, but I also want to improve on my skills. So what is that going to look like? Do I need to take a class of some sort? And if so, how can I incorporate that in my day-to-day? It's a work in progress. You're going to have to ask me in a month.
Awesome. And these will come out in January. So by then, by the way, follow Bianca. I know she's not super active on social media, which is one of her disciplines, which is awesome, but she is on Instagram. What is your name on Instagram, Bianca?
It's Bianca_Castle. I don't have it activated right now. You can find LinkedIn if you really
LinkedIn. Okay, perfect. LinkedIn. Okay. And how do you, for people that aren't reading it, obviously your name's going to be in the show print, and I'll have it down here in the notes, but how do you spell your last name?
Oh, Castillo.
Perfect. So follow her too and reach out, and tell her how her story has impacted you. Cause I think impact is really important. I read somewhere, that you want to impact a person a day. And that's where, this podcast has kind of come from, as far as, helping one starfish a day, helping one person a day. So reach out if there's something that she can do to help you, or some ideas that she can do to help you. Before we wrap up, was there anything in your story you wanted to share? And then we'll go into some final questions.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a big stickler of like, how do I say it? Like not having one part of your life be your consistent story. So as much as I love to share that a drunk driver hit me and I got into an accident and I lost my foot and I went through a depressed moment and I was a teenage mom and it was a struggle and oh my gosh, just my life has been just a total mess and disaster. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't change anything. Like everything that I've gone through, I've been able to learn something from it. So even from walking the streets of Inglewood in the 90s with all of that going on and being a struggling single mother, I believe that, and I've said this before in a previous podcast, that everything has a solution. And until this day, I have to remind myself of that, because I do have those dark days. And on those dark days, I cry and like, God, why did this happen to me, but why am I going through this? And so I have to always remind myself there's always a solution, no matter what. I mean, besides the ultimate death, right? But there's always a solution to everything. And if you feel like there is not, seek help, talk to someone, ask someone, what do you think the solution is? Because you might be clouded by your own perspective. And I've learned from that a lot. So now if something's bothering me or eating me up, I call you, for example, or one of my other friends and ask them, hey, or talk to them about my situation. And 9 times out of 10, it's great to hear someone else's perspective, because then it changes my mind and it helps me get better.
That's awesome. That's such good advice. I love that. All right. We have some final questions before we wrap up. So, there's someone out there that's listening right now and they're like, I don't even know what my purpose is. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know any of that stuff. What is like one sentence or, one little part of advice that you would give them to try to help them find their purpose in life?
Everyone has a purpose, and you might not know it, but like you said, you might be affecting someone's watching you, and just live to your potential. And if you feel like you don't have any potential, again, reach out to someone and ask them, because you don't know what you mean to them or how you influence someone else, I would say.
That's so good. You never know who's watching you, and all of us have a purpose. And if you don't know yours, you do have one. Everyone that's listening right now has a purpose, and or you wouldn't be here. You're on this earth for a purpose, and just really know that. And maybe you don't know what it is, but like reach out, ask for help. Let's help you find that purpose. Number two question is, what's your favorite quote and why?
I had to think a little bit about this one. So Albert Einstein's, and I know I'm paraphrasing, so I'm sorry if I mess it up, but the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. So I remember when I did join the amputee syndicate, thinking I knew that this is a change that I needed to do in my life, or with 75 Hard, I knew I needed to make changes to improve my life. So no one is going to come and save you. No one is going to come and help you. And I am such a giver, and I've learned that I need to give back to myself in order to be successful. So I tell my kids that all the time. You guys got to change it up, do something different.
That's awesome. I love that. Yes. Change it up. Yeah. And I mean, Albert Einstein is obviously one of the smartest guys out there. So
Right?
good quote.
Why not
Yeah, good one to follow. Yeah.
Why not listen
And
to him?
what's one word or sentence that you want on your gravestone? What do you want to be remembered for?
Servant of God. Yeah, my purpose now, and I've learned that throughout the years, is to serve him and to do everything for him. And so that's my purpose. And I hope that everyone else finds theirs.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for jumping on and being part of this podcast. Really appreciate your time, Bianca. You're an amazing lady. You're an amazing friend. You're an amazing business lady. So like I said, if you follow this lady, she's absolutely incredible. She's absolutely inspired. She's absolutely beautiful. And she's got amazing kids and she's doing some amazing things. So thanks so much for jumping on. Really appreciate it. And looking forward to 2022 together.
Thank you. Same here. Thank you so much.